I'm so sorry, this is terrible news, obviously.
Rashawn, what you doing out?
We just came to get a sandwich, you know.
Ain't nothing out this late but the devil. And the devil's helper.
He was teasing me.
When you found out about his death, how badly did that hit you?
Hey man, that hurt you, man. It really did, man. I believe they probably worked him to death. You know, Bernie was like, you know, he told us, man. He said, man, it was like the mob, man. He was like, yo, Bernie, we made you, man. You know, you doing this thing over here, and you know, we got this thing, and so I think they ran him to death, though. He said, Reds, man, I feel like I was on my deathbed, man. They say, brothers ain't right, man. They coming in there taking pictures, man, of me, man, on my deathbed, talking about, prop him up, man. Let me take a picture.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to spill the tea on the legendary Bernie Mac. The man, the myth, the comedic genius. Is Hollywood responsible for the death of Bernie Mac? While we all remember him for his unparalleled wit and gut-busting humor in Ocean's 11 and The Bernie Mac Show, there's a whole untold story that's been brewing under the surface. Bernie Mac left us in 2008 at the tender age of 50. And sure, the official word is pneumonia complications. But hold your gasps, because rumor has it that there's more to this tale than meets the eye. Could Hollywood's shadowy secrets and whispered demands have played a part in Bernie's unexpected exit? Let's rewind a bit. Bernard Jeffrey McCullough, widely known as Bernie Mac, entered the world on October 5, 1957 in Chicago, Illinois. He was the second child born to Mary McCullough and grew up facing the hardships of Chicago's South Side, raised by a single mother and grandparents. He faced heartbreaking losses, saying goodbye to his mother at 16 and his brother and father 1 year later. But it was his mother's battle with breast cancer that hit him the hardest. Can you imagine the emotional roller coaster when Bernie stumbled upon his mother's mastectomy?
I was playing baseball, and I hit a home run to win the game, so I was excited. I ran all the way home. And when I came upstairs, we had this sliding door. We was always taught to knock and stuff, you know. But I hit the door, Mama, and I slid the door open, and my mother didn't have her top on. And I said, Ma, and I looked, and one of her, the right side of her breast was gone. And she had the bra with the chest pad in it. And she said, son, go and close the door, and I'll hear you later. And I said, Mom, what's wrong with your chest? She said, it's none of your business. Now tell me what you want to tell me. She never wanted me to know. And when she passed, she wrote a 10-page letter to my aunt explaining her death. Yeah, I still have it. And what to do and how to do it. And she had in a letter, don't worry about Bernie. Bernie's going to pass everybody.
Yet through all the turmoil, Bernie found the willpower to continue living his life. Regardless of the challenges, Mac knew the stage was where he truly belonged. Comedy became his sanctuary, and he dedicated himself to performing relentlessly at clubs and social gatherings. But in the cutthroat comedy world, Bernie wasn't just battling punchlines. He was waging war against Hollywood's relentless pressures. Whispers are swirling that he stood tall against compromising situations, echoing the sentiments of other black comedians like Dave Chappelle, who famously walked away from a $50 million deal, blaming the industry's suffocating demands. But Bernie's journey to stardom wasn't all smooth sailing. From scrubbing floors as a secret janitor to whipping up culinary masterpieces as a chef extraordinaire, this mystery maestro has even taken on the challenge of steering buses, moving furniture like a pro to HBO's Def Comedy Jam, and he even had his own show. He fought tooth and nail for success. Yet, the glitz and glamour came at a cost. During Ocean's 11, Bernie faced a relentless schedule, juggling health issues and burning the midnight oil. This deadly combination contributed to his heartbreaking decline, which ultimately led to his untimely death. Here, we've delved deep into the twisted tale of the late, great Bernie Mac. And honey, it's juicier than a celebrity feud. Picture this, Bernie Mac, the comedic genius we all loved, but behind the scenes, oh dear, it was a different story. When Bernie Mac bid farewell to this world, the official word was that pneumonia took him down. But honey, there's a backstage drama Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Whispers have been swirling around like a Hollywood tornado, suggesting that Bernie's demise might have more plot twists than a blockbuster movie. Because the comedy circuit is turned into a hotbed of secrets, comedians, those jesters of joy, are breaking the silence, claiming Bernie Mac was tangled up in a mess he didn't sign up for. Forget the laughter for a minute, because they're pointing fingers at the dark, shadowy underbelly of Hollywood. It has hidden pressures, unspoken demands, and more drama than a reality show. Mac, already grappling with health issues, allegedly felt the heat from the industry more than he could handle. Bernie was dealing with this serious health issue called sarcoidosis and was even hospitalized weeks before. Bernie's close friends are exposing the truth that Bernie Mac was overworked by Hollywood, exasperating his illness, which led to his death. The filming schedule only made it worse while he was shooting Ocean's 11 and later Guess Who, along with other projects. He confided in his close friends that it was a lot of pressure due to his illness. Hollywood did not accommodate him like they did Brad Pitt, even though they knew he was sick. During an interview, Doug Williams, one of Bernie's friends, said,
So Bernie was living a COVID lifestyle before COVID hit, because you had to be, when you came on that set, everything was sterilized, you couldn't shake his hand, and they prepped you before you came. Don't shake his hand, don't cough, don't sneeze. If you have to do any of these things, exit the set.
Bernie had said if he ever got that sick, it'd be a real fight. And sure enough, it was.
Because he told me, if you ever hear me being sick or in the hospital, chances are it's gonna be a fight for me.
There was an instance where Brad Pitt hurt his ankle while shooting Ocean's 11, and it got pushed back to accommodate him. Whereas it ran into the shooting schedule for Bernie Mac's next project, Guess Who, and affected it.
I asked him, when are you gonna do stand-up again? And I remember him saying, I really would like to do it, but I can't take a chance of getting sick. A common cold takes me 2-3 weeks to get over, and it could transition into something worse.
But wait, it gets more emotional. Reginald Ballard, who played Broman, was super close with Bernie. He got all teary-eyed talking about Bernie's last weeks. His friend said he was pushing himself too hard, working on movies like Ocean's 11 and his show. He was doing too much, and it overwhelmed him.
He told us that, man. He told us that he was doing so much, and Brad Pitt broke his ankle, and they had to move production back, and it cut into his time that he was supposed to, when he was doing Guess Who. So he had to rush and try to, do a lot of stuff, and he felt that they didn't understand that it wasn't his fault.
In an interview on Vlad TV, Cat Williams didn't just spill the tea. He unleashed a tsunami of gossip that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood. According to Cat, the moguls who cashed in on Bernie's success apparently couldn't stand him. Can you believe it? They were swimming in dollar bills while secretly hating on the man who brought laughter to millions.
Always been aware of who was funnier than me. I've just also been aware of who wasn't. So now I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts. And that was our king. That was our real king. For all of those of us who was out there doing it for $20 for 45 minutes. On some almost a hoe. That was our real comedy king.
The question on everyone's lips, was Bernie Mac just a pawn in Hollywood's game? Damon Williams, another player in this scandalous saga, dropped bombshell after bombshell. Picture this intimate conversation with Bernie, a mentor, a friend, and the bearer of cryptic warnings. Conquer your city first, Bernie allegedly said, hinting at a dark underbelly where aspiring black men might find themselves making unspeakable compromises for that elusive Hollywood contract. Are they trading their souls for fame?
So this was one of the times I was just coming up in the ranks, and he had finally kind of acknowledged us. Because in Chicago, until Bernie said you was funny, or let you work his room, Milt Treniers, he had this Tuesday night room, then you hadn't made it. We all wanted Bernie's seal of approval. So I had figured I finally got it because Teen Summit, the BET show, had booked he and I to be on a panel on the show because the executive producer was in Chicago, and I was doing a charity auction where we were doing auctioning dates. So these were notable people in Chicago, and they were, anyway, so she saw me, she thought I was funny. I hadn't really made it yet, but I had done Comic View already. So they put me and Ellen Cleghorn, who was a black woman from Saturday Night Live, Bernie, and one other comic. I can't really think of who it is right now. So they put me and Bernie on the same flight in the same limo, you know, to the studio. So we flew into from Chicago together, and we were sitting and talking, and then we got in the limo, and he said, "Look here, man, I see you're coming up, you're doing your thing, but I tell you, you got to be original, you got to do your thing, but don't rush off to LA." He said, "Conquer your city first, then come to LA, because a lot of cats come out to LA too soon, and they end up being a small fish in a big pond." And he said, and some of them end up broke or sucking dick. And I was like, broke or sucking dick? I'm like, it ain't no other in between, like broke and selling cars or broke and waiting tables. It's either broke and sucking dick. So I'm like, well, let me wait.
Now, let's talk kings of comedy drama. Cedric spilled the tea on backstage clashes between Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey. Alpha males going head-to-head, bruised egos, and enough drama to make a soap opera blush. The real question, did their feud hinder Bernie's trajectory? Was he the casualty of a power struggle among comedic giants?
Yeah. I mean, you know, they were the kind of guys that they both alpha males, you know, like they both, you know, they just saw it different.
Fast forward to Bernie's untimely exit. Some say it wasn't just a tragic twist of fate. It was a clash between Bernie's mission to save Chicago's kids and Hollywood's dark desire to promote violence and drugs. Did Bernie Mac become a casualty in the battle between a comedian's heart and Hollywood's twisted agenda? Hold on to your seats because Ice Cube's dropping truth bombs. Hollywood allegedly wants to peddle violence, not just in movies, but in music too. Are we all unwitting pawns in the elite's game? Manipulated to follow a path that benefits private prisons? It's like a plot from a Hollywood thriller, but this is real life, honey. Whispers are circulating about whether he was the unsung hero trying to shield young stars from the ominous shadows of Hollywood. Was he the sacrificial lamb? Or did Bernie have the dirt on the dark secrets of Hollywood? And what about the Bernie Mac show? Oh, honey, the drama behind the scenes could rival a Hollywood blockbuster. Conflicts led to Larry Wilmore's abrupt departure in season 2. And despite the awards, the show's ratings plummeted. But that's not all. Bernie's infamous feud with Steve Harvey added a layer of complexity that even the most skilled scriptwriters couldn't dream up. The tension was so thick, it killed any chance of a sequel to the original Kings of Comedy tour.
I had a mole over there who I got certain emails where they were trying to divide me and Bernie and just weren't supportive and that type of thing. Well, you could just feel that was happening. And Bernie and I, our relationship soured, unfortunately, after I won the Emmy. I think that was his demons just at work there, those personal demons that he had. And that was unfortunate because, I mean, I love that guy, you know. I was not trying to usurp him or be in the spotlight at all. You know, I mean, back from my Living Color days. I was truly there to serve, you know. But, you know, it was very difficult on him. I think he had the feeling that something was stolen from him, I think was the way it occurred in him emotionally.
Bernie Mac bid farewell to this world on August 9th, 2008. And while the curtain may have fallen on the stage, the whispers and speculations keep this Hollywood mystery alive and kicking. In reflecting upon the life and legacy of Bernie Mac, we find ourselves immersed in the timeless brilliance of an American comedian and actor who had a profound impact in the world of entertainment. With a gift for observational comedy, Bernie Mac effortlessly wove humor with authenticity, addressing societal issues through the lens of laughter. As we bid farewell to this iconic figure, we recognize that Bernie Mac's legacy is not confined to a particular era. It resonates in the hearts of his devoted fans and echoes through the annals of comedy history. His contributions have paved the way for a new generation of comedians, inspiring them to infuse their craft with authenticity and address societal nuances through the powerful medium of humor. In the grand tapestry of entertainment, Bernie Mac's laughter will forever be a vibrant thread, weaving its way through the fabric of our collective memory. At the time of his passing, Bernie had a net worth of $10 million, widely believed to have been inherited by his daughter, Janice McCullough, who thanks Cat Williams for celebrating her dad in a recent post.
Utmost appreciation and respect for giving my dad his props and his flowers. And I felt like it was genuine. There are some people who have given, you know, my dad his flowers now that he's dead, that I'm looking at like, you know, doggone well, he wasn't doing that when he was alive.